Hey, Derek, good morning. Well, how are you, man?
It's summertime now.
Let's get a little background. Tell me a little bit more about yourself and some of the origin story, man. How'd all this start?
Wow, it was a dark story. No, I'm just kidding. I've been doing it for over 20 years. So I started in my dad actually started as a cover advisor here in the 90s, and he became a partner in 2000. And during that summer, I worked in install between high school and college, and then realized that, or he realized that they don't really have a good inventory system at that period. So I spent the next couple of years developing our inventory program, part numbers, pricing, and then started getting better pricing on products and actually tracking what we're spending and who we're buying it from and all that fun stuff. So that was my start. So between college, I worked here part time. And then when I graduated, I convinced my father he does need me full time. Family, I don't know about everyone's family, but my family, they're a little more harder on you than
Yeah.
everyone else. He coached me in most sports all my life, and I was held to a higher standard than everyone else on the team. Here was no different. Basically, I had to sell him on why they needed a full time inventory person. So I pretty much guaranteed that the savings I would get the company would pay for my salary. I'm a loss leader. I'm a loss
That's a
leader.
bold statement.
Yeah, I'm just going to be a leader. I'm going to lose you money. So all that came true. Then from there, just graduated into office manager, eventually taking over residential, pulled in for a code advisor when they were out. So I've been doing it. I've done everything but service technician. I'm not very technical. So it's been a long journey, but yeah, it's been fun, and I really found my passion for it pretty early on, especially when I would be a code advisor going out to houses. I hated mowing grass as a kid, but I loved the before and after. The yard
Yeah. Oh,
looks
yeah.
terrible, and then after it looks great. Okay, I actually hated doing the work, but
Yeah.
I loved the before and after. And to me, HVAC was like that same thing because you had a customer with a problem, immediate
Yeah.
problem, or allergy issues or asthma issues. You had solutions. So seeing that customer the day after or the week after,
Mhm.
whatever this was, actually comfortable and saving money or energy or being off medication, I mean, that was rewarding for me. So I found my passion pretty quick. I was like, I actually kind of like doing this. Even though I graduated college pre-law, international studies,
It's a
doing HVAC.
big
So
switch.
yeah.
Yeah. That's a different switch. Tell me about that kind of mentality change in college from where you joined, to go do pre-law, and then when during that path did you realize that you actually had the passion for the business and that you wanted to pursue that?
Early on, it was just to get my foot in the door,
Yeah.
get something going. I met my now wife in college. She was from Lumberton, which was about a few miles away from Pembroke, but not too far. So I realized pretty quick she's not really going to go too far away from home.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, CIA, FBI, probably not in the cards. So what's plan B that I would be happy with and content doing?
Yep.
I started diving in this a little more. I kind of liked it. I like negotiating. I like pricing. I like saving money for the company. And then that kind of fit into, actually helping homeowners. So I really dug in at that point when I saw that was the case. And, this can be a career. This can be a life. There's nothing wrong with it.
That's awesome. Man, there's so many things that you brought up that I want to dig into. Let's talk about the family thing first, because so many of these businesses are family oriented, right? Either passed down from generations or just, multi-generational operated. So tell me about when that transition time came up right? Because obviously your dad was running the business and took many years. It was harder on you. So it took years for you to prove yourself. What was that dynamic like? And, how's that torch passed?
Yeah, it goes deeper than that because my brother, older brother, 3 years older, is a professional engineer. So he went to NC State with a mechanical engineering degree, got his PE after 4 years, or I think it's 4 years of experience before he can get it. So the plan was for him to always come back home to the business and run it with dad. I was the youngest wild card. So it was a different dynamic. I was kind of no one planning for me to do this. I didn't show interest in it. You put math in front of me and I'm definitely not mathing. Yeah, I'd much rather not do that. But the proving ground for me was probably a little bit steeper because I was the unknown. What is he doing here? Well, I mean, is he serious that we're gonna do this? And then so I just had to keep proving myself that yeah, you can rely on me. I'm serious. I do this. So today, I mean, Dad's semi-retired, and Scott, my brother, is running the commercial side of the business, which is the Simmons portion of it. I'm running residential, which is the Simmons 1 Hour. We kept the Simmons names because it's been around for over 70 years. So there's no reason to change that aspect of it. But we got a good dynamic. I mean, me and my brother, I mean, we butt heads like brothers do,
Yeah.
but we always have the same intent for the business, for the customer,
Sure.
for the future. We just have different paths that we are passionate about how we're going to get there. So pretty much he does his thing, I do my thing. If we overlap, we do our thing. But there's not much anymore. We're in our 40s now, so there's not much fighting
That's
anymore.
right. Yeah, I've got a brother who's 2 years older, so I understand the dynamic of the sibling rivalry, yet also being great friends. Like it's
Yeah,
fun.
because I mean, as you get older, you learn that we go head to head and battle and compete. But end of the day, I mean, when the chips are down, somebody's got your back,
Yeah.
and it's not going to be anyone else, but your brother is going to be there.
So it sounds like he's the technical one. Has he done the field
Oh,
service work? Does he dig in on the machines?
oh yeah, 100%. I mean, they do a lot of big stuff on commercial as far as controls, chillers. He gets his hands in. He can also is rare because he can actually, isn't PE, so he can actually do prints and can actually, uh, the problem with some PEs is, it's on the drawing, but there's no concept of how to actually install it. But he has that concept, so we have that rare gift of having the best of all worlds. Yeah, if I have a very technical question, if William can't help me, who is our ops manager, kind of does both sides, ask Scott. He tells me, but then I break it down into layman terms so I can understand
Yep.
it. It's like, well, not really, but yeah. I'm like, I'm just trying to get the average homeowner to understand. Okay, we're not trying to split the atom here.
So what about your dad? How did he get the start? Was he on the technician side coming into the business, or was he on
No,
the side?
actually, he was in real estate. He was a realtor, and he came to Ralph, who owned the company back in the '90s, and pitched him on being a straight commission salesperson. And Ralph was like, I don't need a salesperson. And Steve's like, well, you got like 3 jobs in the book. Yeah, I think you need a salesperson, but I'll be straight commission. You don't have to pay me unless I sell. So that grew into, you know, the next 10 years of him saying, let's partner up because you're making more than I am. So let's partner this out and work it out. So that's how he got into the business. The Simmons name, his stepfather worked in install back years ago, so it's always been in the family known.
Yep.
This business was here, so I think that's why he came to him at that time when he was looking for something, and Ralph said, "Let's give it a shot," and I'm glad he did because here we are.
Yeah, no kidding. So tell me a little bit about your market you operate in. I mean, I've been in North Carolina, it's a beautiful state. All I know about it is what it looks like. Tell me about how that. how your seasons are, how the business dynamic changes throughout the year, and how you guys adapt to that.
Yeah. Well, and two, before we get too far, I do have multiple sclerosis. So if you start hearing me kind of slur a little bit, it's because of that. It's not because of anything I'm taking or drinking. Yeah. So the market, I mean, southeastern North Carolina, it's we have probably we own Fayetteville, North Carolina, all the way up to Sanford, North Carolina. And if you know anything about Fayetteville, Fort Bragg, Fort Liberty, our territory has grown immensely in the last 15 years of military bases and military operations and personnel, and so that's been it's kind of it's kind of like two different markets. I mean, you got this market we're in down here in Lawrenceburg, which is kind of we know Simmons' name. Simmons has been around 70 years. We know about them. But then you go up to the Rayford Fayetteville area, it's very new marketing techniques. Whereas I would classify this home base as very traditional marketing techniques. You know, word of mouth and taking care of your neighbor. When you get up into the more transit places, it's more of a can you get there fast enough? I'm not borrowing a cup of sugar from my neighbor. I don't even know who they are. They moved last week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
That's interesting.
Less of that, less, more transit market up in our Fayetteville place. And, I love it because Fayetteville, Sanford, that's a different beast than Lumberg, Lumberton. Whereas, somebody buys a house and they're here. Okay.
Mhm.
Whereas it's just in and out of that place. And yeah, it's a different dynamic, but keeps you on your toes.
So yeah, tell me a little bit about the marketing side then. Then how does that how do you guys change that? I mean you really do market differently to the different locations because they react that differently to some, you're doing like what, billboards and little league teams or whatever in one market and then all Facebook in another, how's that work?
Yeah, so here locally, we're really big on the high school football team,
Yeah.
sponsorship, scoreboard, sports. We do quite a bit of with the Optimus Club, Little League sponsorships. Those things play down here. I'm not saying they won't play up there. I'm just saying that it's more. There's not as much loyalty because you're in and out. It feels like up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more of a Facebook, radio, Google AdWords,
Yep.
pay per click kind of a deal than traditional down here, old school. In my neighborhood, I got two yard signs at the exit of the neighborhood because I mean that's just where we are. I mean, no one's. I mean, people might be moving. Rarely are they moving away.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas the markets are, up north are a little more give and take. And that's changing a little bit. Some people are putting down roots and staying here now that everything's kind of stable. Still, it's different. It's a different animal.
So, I mean, just given my background and obviously SmartAC and everything, I've got a passion for technology. So you've been in the business for a while. How much have you seen technology change the business? I mean, obviously you came in inventory side, looking at systems and putting that in place. Like, how was the business even running? Did you have field service management back then, and what were you guys operating on?
No, we're operating on MS-DOS and the flat screen, and it was rough. So I'll tell you a story too, because back then we had our we didn't call them club members. What do you call them? I think we might have called them service agreements. Anyway, so I'm part time. So the office manager, hands me a stack of blank invoices and some names. She was like, "We need to do renewals, so just write the name on the envelope, how much they owe, and then we'll mail it." So I did a couple of them. I was like, this is terrible. What are we doing? So, I mean, even back then, I graduated to, all right, let's do a Word document. Let's do a blank. Everybody's got the same price, it looks like. And let's just fold the envelope and mail it like this. We save an invoice. At least, you know, get a little more efficient. I mean, let's speed this up a little bit. I'm not lazy, but I'm not going to just do extra stuff because it makes sense. So it was that kind of stuff back then. But yeah, technology has changed quite a bit. I love it. One of the reasons we jumped on SmartAC after a little bit of research was always looking for that next step, next level, next. How can we be ahead of what we're doing? We've always been ahead of the curve in this market, which I
Mhm.
like. I like staying ahead and changing things and not always doing things the same way. If we can do them better and it helps out the customer and it's less, let's do it. What do we have to do to get it done? Let's test it. All right, let's do it. Let's roll it out. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, it makes sense. Different people have different motivations. We get to. I'm fortunate that I get to work with hundreds and hundreds of contractors, right? Just and I love it because I love the origin stories. I love the motivations. We love like you like helping people from a comfort advisor standpoint. I like helping businesses. It's the same thing. But I'm always curious because like what you just said, I want to be on the forefront of things. I like seeing technology and I want to figure it out and I want to be first. Like we run into that. We also run into people are just trying to fix a problem and a pain point, right? Like they're like, all right, our memberships absolutely suck, right? And
Right.
we're not good at it, we're not selling it. Like and so there's some people come up from that way. And then some people just, it's literally somebody told them at a conference, whatever, hey, like you should be doing this, right? Like, Service Titan is a great example of that. Word of mouth on that is just tremendous and is now, it's just kind of expected that most businesses operate on it. So yeah, so I'm always curious to talk to people, but tell me about what your memberships were doing before. Were they going well? And you're just like,
Yeah.
hey, I want to amp it up even more.
Yeah, yeah. Our memberships have been going well for a while. This was a avenue when I first saw it was thinking we always tell folks to change their filter. So we have an app now that tells them to change their filter without me telling them to change their filter. But you can also, go a step further and actually have something in place that watches the performance or detects a leak and lets you know ahead of time. The customer doesn't have to have us come out, but we do have to reach out, make sure they are aware of it. I had a conversation with the lady the other day, and you know, you get under that. Some people think you're just trying to come out to charge me.
Yeah,
Well,
that's it. You're coming out to
no,
sell.
no. I mean, this is why you got this is for these alerts. I'm not getting these. Yeah, you're not gonna get every alert we get because that would be, that would drive you crazy. But we don't have to come out and check it. But you're having a cooling performance problem. So just want you to be aware that you're supposed to be at like 15, you're at 7. So that's because I keep my house hot. Okay, that's fine. Keep out. Just want to give you a heads up. If
Yeah,
we're cool with it, we're cool with it, man.
yeah,
We're still wanting to communicate the problem. So when I saw this in the app and I was like, our memberships have been going strong for a while. I was like, this is something, now we have the Legacy Comfort Club and now we have the Smart Comfort Club. So we have the same plan, but now we got the Smart added to it. So people can take that on if they want to. Have a few questions if they have a few questions, see it, whatever is the case. The first time I thought about it, I was like, look, this just thinking about it as a homeowner, I would not buy this over the phone. I would have a technician it would have to explain to me. Well, I was completely wrong. They're buying it over the phone. If you're got the right script and the right story and you're following the points, they're buying it over the phone, which is, I give the guys, the technicians we meet once a week on Monday, I give them flack. I'm like, I said, imagine they're not even at the house and they're selling it, and you guys are in their face and not doing as good. No, I was like, what's happening there? But it's some people are hungry for it. Some people they just want to do what they want to do, and that's fine too. But to have the option and to have the ability and the technology here that's actually reliable, it can actually do what it says it's going to do was the it's a big thing,
what do you think
and
it is
more and
over
more.
the phone? Sorry to interrupt. What is it over the phone that's catching people's interest? Because we hear that a lot. A lot of people sell it over the phone. And different people say different things. I'm curious. In your market, what do you think resonates?
From what I've heard so far, basically two camps. Some people jump on it immediately. yes, I want that. Yes, yes, yes. As soon as you explain it to them. And some people are a little more, let me see, we'll think about it. And then the technician can close it from there. But I was surprised how many people over the phone were just like, yeah, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, yeah, I want that. Like, okay, all right. I mean, we're prepared to do it over the phone. We got the scripting for it, but to me, it was something that took me a little bit by surprise. Like, I didn't think it was going to be that smooth over the phone. I
Yeah.
knew once in person and once they saw the thing and saw the sensors and saw the technician, I was like, okay, that's cool. But I was kind of surprised over the phone.
That's awesome. How did you when you rolled this out? How'd you set it up? Like commission wise, how'd you structure it to motivate your phone people and your technicians? What sort of plan did you guys set in place?
I did it basically $5 extra
Okay.
if you did smart versus legacy. We're
Oh,
not comfortable with legacies.
yeah.
Say you would get $15 for a legacy, you
Yep.
would get $20 for our smart.
Awesome. I think that's great, by the way. Why did you decide to do more for that? For the motivation side?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
and and if you're doing more smarts than lazy, I had to clarify for the guys. So like, look, either one's fine with me. By the way,
Yeah.
we just want them off the free agent list. But if they have the app and we're on the app and they see our logo and they see it once a month over and over, that's a lot more valuable than just being, who did I call? What we got a plan with, it's a little more sticky on the smart AC.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you saying that. We definitely agree. That's yeah. So, and I could ask you a million questions on that. So when you first rolled it out to the technicians, were they a were they a harder sell than the phone comfort advisors commission? Like, was it harder to turn the techs over that hey, this simple sensor set can actually tell you what's going on?
And we showed them the data.
Yeah,
They're in. It wasn't
cool.
a I've got no concept of what's happening here. I'm just taking the word for it. No, we got actual. Let me throw my house. These are the extra temperature readings. Here's your problem. Here's your sensor. So once they saw that, it was done. There wasn't any more. I had to, one of our meetings, I had to say, look, it's fine if you don't sell smart. We just want them on something,
Yeah,
legacy
yeah,
or smart. And since then, it's probably been, we've done pretty good on conversion. It's over 70% this month, but it's a few more of the legacy, which is it's fine. It's fine, man. I'm always of the mindset if live to fight another day. I'm always of the mindset we're going to be back in 6 months. We're going to be back in a year. We can talk about it then. We can talk about it then. We can talk about it, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Versus that customer that, calls in the first time you probably never ever see them again.
yeah, yeah. How are you? Are you the one that digs in heavily on Service Titan in terms of like business performance and metrics and all that stuff? How do you guys uh, handle that inside your organization?
Yeah, so I'm on the list, but all the call takers get the alerts as well. So as soon as they get an alert, they text the customer or call them to tell them what's going on.
No, I mean like your top line business performance,
Ugh.
like the like your sales revenue, like all like are you the one that digs in on that, or do you have a Service
Yeah,
Titan specialist that pulls those reports for you, or
yeah, no,
how do you guys set all that up? Do you have like a success group you work with that help set all that stuff up that you still interact with?
no,
How do you run that side of it?
not at all. No, I send I do the daily management report myself,
Okay,
which is on the winner side. So I have a pulse on everything, and then with the monthly financials, dig into those, and then I send them to our coach over 1 hour, and he'll dig into it and actually send me some more metrics on those financials compared to my DMR. So we got quite a bit of help on that side because, he could throw a spreadsheet in there like in 2 seconds. I'm like, just tell me what I need to work on, man. Just tell me where I'm losing at. Let's pick it up.
can you imagine running your business today without that stuff? Like think what would you do, what would you do 15 years ago? You're doing hourly reports on where things are going and looking at things daily.
Yeah, I mean, it's I mean, I was talking to them about dispatching. I said back in the day we had a yellow pad, and we're just like, check, we got Johnson. Next one is Louise. I'm like, what were we doing? Yeah, but now it's just you didn't know what you didn't know. I mean, you didn't have what you didn't have. So now to have this data and to have this ability, yeah, you don't want to go back to not having it. Uh, the daily management report, I do it by hand from server side. Like, how do you have time for that? How do you have time to not do that? I want to look at every call. I want to read every call, make sure we're picking up on it. And then every now and then, I'll go back there to the call center dispatch. Like, hey, we got to follow up for this. We got to follow up for that. Yeah, I got on right here, right here, right here. Okay, so make sure we're not missing the ball because it can happen. I mean, 30, 35 calls a day, something's going to drop.
Did we when we helped you launch our product, did we help you set up reporting in Service Titan? How do you set up tracking, like how all that's going? Like
Yeah,
lead
it's in
opportunities, revenue conversion, sales conversions, like how do you do all that?
as far as the smart AC, we got the service time connection, so it goes back and forth. But the girls in the call center, they use the dashboard for all the alerts and all the
Oh wow, okay.
unresolved things. That goes, that talks back and forth. We just
Yeah, yeah.
found there to yeah, yeah. I get on the dashboard every day and see that home screen with the how many installed. So yeah, I emailed Mary. I was like, has anyone ever installed this many this fast? She's like, no, she's like, no, obviously. I'm like, okay, thanks.
That's that's awesome. I'm glad. I love to hear that you're actually using the features too, because that's obviously that's why we built them. But that's great. Well, I appreciate that. I want to figure out how we can help set up a lot more reporting in Service Titan for you, because I mean I want it to be as simple as the way you're running your business today, right? Like for your entire membership program, right? Just the metrics should hit you every day of here's how many offered, here's how many sold, conversions, revenue associated with with all that. Like that's our goal. So it's just like delivered back to you. You don't have to guess.
Yeah.
So tell me about other technology. What other stuff have you adopted in the recent past that you really like, that's helped your business?
Yeah, we really like the Sensi thermostat, the Wi-Fi touchscreen too.
Okay.
Um, that's a really sleek looking, not crazy priced thermostat for the homeowner. So they got an app on their phone. I love when the day comes where they can control that thermostat from their smart AC Simmons One Hour app. That would be even sweeter. But I know it's probably coming.
You know us too well. Actually, you could help with that. We are in talks with Cincy. I'd love for you to place a call to him saying, "Hey, get this thing connected," because we're on their roadmap, but I don't think we're a priority right now. But yeah, that is the plan. You're right, man.
Well, I mean, obviously Michael was at the last convention, and I was kind of, was like, he was not busy. I mean, he was getting people in there. I'm like, we got to get this story out somehow better. I mean, all these franchisees should be looking at this platform. I don't know what that looks like for you guys as far as getting a bigger presence in a convention or even doing a breakout, or I don't know the back door to all that, but I think it's something that when enough franchisees know about it for real, they'll
Yeah,
jump on it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Be more than happy to help. Tell a story, tell what we did, and I'll be glad to help.
Awesome. Wow. Thanks, man. I'd love that. That'd be great. All right. Well, we're definitely gonna track down Sensi again, because I want that integration with them for sure. What
Yeah,
um what else? There's a lot of talk about AI tools that are out
yeah,
there. Have you experimented in any of those? Do you have anything that you're using right now?
yeah. I've been using Jasper for a while.
Okay.
To help write some blog posts. Recently, I switched to GPT
Okay.
just because it knows me at this point, and it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
So if you go to our website, simmons1hour.com, you actually see Derek A on
I've
top.
been there. I saw it.
So you can ask any HVAC question, and it's going to take my 927,000 words of content everything uploaded into there and answer the
Wow.
question the way I would answer the question.
Wow. That's incredible.
What has surprised me was we really haven't promoted this little tool, but I mean, just last week we got 6 messages, you know, crazy. But it's like, all right, we're picking up a little bit. We're asking questions. Basically, it's like having me right beside you. What would you want to know?
Yeah.
How often to change my air filter? Ask away. Derek AI is going to answer the way I would answer.
That's interesting. You give me a bunch of ideas too. But so we use an AI tool on our side on our from our support teams, right? When a homeowner chats in, like
Yep.
starts with an AI interaction because we've got I don't know how many 50,000 plus unique interactions, right? And if you take that times the number of words and all that stuff, like we've got a like you said, huge learning database. So AI handles the first round, and then if it gets where it can't, then we have real live people on the other side to pick that up. But I was just thinking, I wonder if we could somehow embed Derek AI on the, into your app, into the Simmons app for you, and be on
Yeah.
the other side of the app interactions. That would be, yeah, that would be cool. I'm gonna talk to my product team about that.
Yeah, that would be interesting because I tell the girls in the call center too, they don't have too much HVAC experience. So I'm like, so they ask me questions every now and then, and I keep drilling them. AI, Eric AI. So now they've started using it. They're
Yeah,
like,
that's
yeah, you
interesting.
answer my question. I was like, yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah,
That's all he
it's
knows
yeah,
how to do. That's all he knows
that's
what
like
to do.
your own support tool for your own employees. That's a cool use. I hadn't thought about that.
And homeowners. How
Yeah,
often change the UV light? And then boom, got your answer.
that's really cool. Are you doing any of that like with your outbound communication to customers? Like you have AI email or text message interactions or anything like that?
No, not yet. I
Okay.
haven't found one that I like yet. I've tried a few.
Okay.
It was just too clunky at that point for me
Okay.
to like it because I do want a really good experience. I want it to be
Yeah. Yeah.
seamless. I've even tried, outbounding to expired clubs or
Yep.
outbounding to, it's time for your maintenance, but still it came off as you could tell it
Yeah.
was not, what I mean? It
Not
wasn't
quite there.
there. Yeah, but you can tell it's getting close. And it's definitely something I'm going to employ as soon as it's ready. It meets our standards. I'm going to. I mean, why wouldn't you? You
Yeah.
make 1,500 texts or calls in minutes versus all these hours.
Well, we're experimenting with a number of them. I mean, these are fairly proven technologies. Sometimes not actually heavily used in our HVAC services industry, but other industries. So if we come across something we really like, I'll let you know.
Yeah, thank you. We had a tool we were using for a kind of a follow up, which is AI follow up, and finally stopped using it because it really wasn't. I mean, it wasn't designed for this space.
Yeah.
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 But I was trying to make it work because I need some kind of follow up, follow up, follow up. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
So, still, trying to figure that one out. Until then, we're doing it manually,
Yeah.
which I hate because, like last night, I got a lead at, 2:30. I would love for a chat bot to be, boom, hitting them with appointment time. Book it, book it, book it. Yeah, it's
Yep.
available.
Yep.
But
All right. Well,
whether
I'll keep you posted on that and see what we end up coming up with or what we run across.
Yeah, we're a strange mix of old school and new school. So I have fun with that technology. I mean, our website, I do all that stuff in the house. It's me doing it, blog posts or articles.
Yeah.
It's me uploading it. And the contractor came in last week and said, you probably save a lot of money by doing this. I'm like, well, yeah, but I said my problem was the reason I did it is not really to save money because that was, annoying. I'm like, if I want an article out, I want it out right now.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Why is my AC running all the time in this heat? Okay, I want the article out like now, not
Yeah.
2 weeks from now. I want to talk to somebody right now. This is why. I want to put that on Facebook. I want to promote it because everyone's having this question as it gets hotter. Is
Yep.
my AC supposed to turn off? I said, speed is a lot better than being perfect. I want it out there.
Like, I've got a couple last questions. I'll let you go. One is around what do you what tools, support, consulting, what are you using to help train your people and improve the business? How do you work on the business? What support is there for that?
Yeah, so we have meetings every week with every day with the install guys, every week with service techs, every week with the office people, every week with the call center. It's just constant communication,
Yeah.
constant communication. As soon as you feel comfortable, I've learned, as soon as you feel comfortable, that's when you're about to get bit.
Yeah.
So constant communication, constant training. Most of it's us in house. I mean,
Really?
like we did. Good thing about William is he's kind of like Scott. He's a lot more technical. So we did an hour of customer service training and then an hour of sorter and brazing over that. So that was, Monday. That was a good day. So we can't always get the technical that deep every
Yeah.
single time, but we try to hit it as often as we can. But mainly talking about the process every
Yeah.
single week. Every single week, we talk about the 8 steps, and we talk about what the goal is to get a customer off the market. I said the number one goal is not to sell a paint treatment or a coal scrubber or it's not anything. Number one goal is to get them off the market. That is the goal. Get them on the club membership, Smart Club, even better. But at least Legacy, at least get them on Legacy Club so we can see them in 6 months. We can see them next year. We can talk about when it's not 95 degrees outside because I say, guys, it is a grudge purchase. Okay. No one is saving for the AC to break. No
Right.
one's excited to see a yellow truck pull into the driveway. They're pissed. They're hot. It's not a good situation. So at least revisit them when it's, 60 degrees and it's not so much of a interruption inconvenience.
Yeah, for sure.
Just constant training, constant communication. But we got a great team. They know what we're doing. They know the goals. We do make mistakes. We're humans here. Tell them all the time, look, you're going to make a mistake. Don't beat yourself up about the mistake, but it's how you react to the mistake that makes a difference. We all make mistakes. I promise you, you're going to make one. If you're on the field, you're going to make a mistake. The only one not making a mistake is the guy on the bench. He's fine. He's not going to play. He's not
Yeah.
going to make a mistake. I said, but we're going to react to it. Our intent is always the same. It's always for exceptional customer service. That is our intent. We might, fall down every now and then, but it's how you make up for it.
How big's your team now? Well, on the resi side.
On the red side, we got about 18, 20. I think overall we're right at 50 company wide. So we got some good team members there.
That's a good sized group. So obviously you're trying to grow, right? Like everyone's always
Oh
trying
yeah,
to grow.
of
So
course.
how have you seen the cost of marketing change? Like, because obviously growth goal, like you said, the goal is to take them off the market, and if they're not off the market, you're paying for them again, right?
Yep. Right.
So how as you're trying to grow and you see marketing, like what's that trend been like for the cost?
We try to stay around 10% of
Yeah.
sales, and that's obviously being aggressive with that growth. But we do a lot of things in house. Again, how are you going to cut costs? Well, the current TV commercial is a 30-second radio ad that I uploaded pictures of me and Scott in the Chat GPT, making my baby with the podcast, and then I went to one of the AI apps and uploaded the audio, uploaded the picture, made the video. So that is on OTT everywhere for hundreds of dollars of cost. Obviously, it costs a lot to, bring
Yep.
the advertising out, but I
Sure.
said, guys, instead of spending thousands on the radio, on the TV ad, we're spending hundreds. Or if you go to a movie theater and see me up there, this is the ad. It's got some, we've cut it up and sent it to a company to make a better edit. I mean, the majority of it is me talking to
Yeah.
the phone. I mean, we
Awesome.
all have the technology right here. No reason to overpay
Yeah.
for fluff. Look, I just got 30 seconds. Hey, I know you're the movies. No big deal. Have your energy bills been a problem? I got Beetlejuice in there. Does your energy bills make you do a Beetlejuice? So it's Beetlejuice and that thing coming. Like, so go to SimmonsOneHour.com, click on the link for live streaming or movie theater ads, download the free guide. That's all there is.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
let 'em-
great.
yeah, give them information, give them education, give them free stuff. Give them the education. It doesn't always have to be sell, 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 sell. We have $25 off of whatever,
Yep.
$250 off of this thing. Heck no. I mean, the customer's not home saying, you know what? That's a good idea. It's like, I don't think that's happening. That's not happening in my house.
No, 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 no. I think you're right. I think I've seen some very effective local ads that do more than just what you say. It's not just we got a special, right? Like it is let us help you. Offering free advice on energy savings is like, yeah, check it out. Like not asking you for money, we're trying to help. I think people appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, we went old school and it got slow. I did it myself. I hung door hangers the whole street myself. Got the metric for okay, it's about 20%. If I knock on 5 doors, one person is gonna actually come to the door. All right, you got to know that. Otherwise, you're gonna be pissed off, and like
Yeah,
10 doors
yeah,
later,
yeah,
you talk to 2 people, unless you know what you're looking for. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Out of that, we're trying to get a metric on how many people's going to download or QR code the free guide. It's just a conversation. Hey, Andrew, just wanted to know if you hear some noise down the street. We're doing Mary's new system. I just wanted to come by and say, hey, if you got any problems, please feel free to call us if we're making too much noise or whatever. I also wanted to give you this little door hanger here. Has a QR code, free energy guy. I don't know if you're like Mary, but have you had really high energy bills this past season? Yeah. Well, download this free energy guide. Might help you out. No problem. And then we're going. We're
Yeah.
not hard telling. We're just, making that impression. I said, guys,
That,
you're already there. And you know they're driving down the street. What is Mary doing now?
yeah, that's
Hey,
right.
guys, what are they doing over there? Well, let's go tell them what we're doing.
That's right. Especially the smaller the town or the tighter the neighborhood, the more intrigue, right? What's happening over at that house?
Yeah, a guy came to my house after we moved it in, selling insurance or something. It's like, yeah, I told the this and that. I was like, dude, I just told you, I don't know anybody. You can keep referencing Cliff. I don't know who that is. I don't know Cliff. That's gonna be a harder thing, in other markets. But if you got a truck there and you're making noise, that's the easy thing to point to. Hey, we're
Why
doing.
not? Yeah,
I don't know if you know, Mary, but our trucks are here. If for some reason we cause a problem or anything, please, that's our goal. But please let us know. And by the way, if you got a minute, if you,
yeah,
take take 2 minutes, take 5 minutes, just talk to them because it's fun. Because they're driving over and they're like, "How's he doing something else?"
that's good. That's good stuff, man. You've been at it a while. Hey, congrats on all your success.
Thank you,
I
thank you.
mean that, man. From somebody else who's helped start a business, it's not easy. You got to want to every day. So congrats on all your hard work and what you've accomplished, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I was told to the calls yesterday, or like it was Monday, kind of dragging a little bit. It's Monday back to work. I'm like, man, I get up every morning and I'm excited to see you guys. I'm like, I cannot wait to see the call center. They said, no way. I started laughing. I was like, all right, now we're in the groove. Let's go. Like, I get up and I'm like, I can't wait to get to work. Actually, I do because I'm weird. Uh,
Well,
it's fine.
you,
We're humans.
you,
We all got stuff happening. You just got to make the best out of it. It is what it is.
yeah, we all have our days, man. But you're right. When you enjoy it and you like the people you work with, it's fun. You know, it becomes a game you enjoy playing.
Yeah, we told them before you hire them, like, you spend more time here than you spend with your family.
Yep,
So we're going to get along. We're going to have fun. We're going to be serious when it needs to be serious, but we're going to have fun because if you don't laugh, you cry.
that's What would you say to another contractor that's not using SmartAC or they're considering it?
What's holding you back? Examples. Have you installed it in your house? You can't deny the metrics you want to see. So if this is beneficial for your base, for your company, for your technicians, What's holding you back? Are you worried about what are you worried about? It was almost like I went to a conference one time and we're having success with tune-up postcards. And they were like, you need to tell them about tune-up postcard. Like, dude, I don't even know if they need the tune-up postcard. Are they even answering the phones correctly? Or you wait? I mean, is this going to be a waste of money? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know, before we get to C, let's talk about A and B before we get there. But as far as smart AC goes, I mean, if they have a good club base and a good conversion on club base, there's no reason to not offer this to their existing members to upgrade to get this kind of technology because people are hungry for it. They know it exists. They know it's out there. They've read about smart homes. They've heard about smart things. They've had Alexa. They've had Siri. How does it benefit them though? That is the difference. So if it benefits your customers, you'd be crazy not to do it because our only goal here at this company is to make it benefit the customer with less friction. So if we get, I don't think one customer, might be one. I don't really think one customer has hit us before we hit them with the alert. Us reaching out to them saying, Andrew, by the way, I saw you got a low cooling performance. Do you want to send a technician to go check it out? I didn't know I had a problem. That's why you have the smart AC. We're trying to catch it before you know you have a problem, right?
That's
So
cool, man.
that's one of
That's
the
great.
benefits.
You think,
Yeah.
and you've seen customers appreciate that when you let them know that you're watching?
I think so. I mean, we had that one that was a little salty, but I mean, lower averages, you gonna have somebody not be. I'm like, fine. Don't. I mean, I don't know. It's fine. And my house is fine. I mean, I don't know. We're just doing what we said we're gonna do. But yeah, I think for the most part, it's uh, we haven't tested out in the heating season. I'm really looking forward to that because we go to so many people that heat strips are on and they don't know about it until they get the high light bill. I'm
Hmm.
really interested to see how many of those we can head off before it becomes a
Awesome.
problem. You know what I mean?
Awesome. Yeah, man. I had not even thought about that. You're right. Yeah, we have gas heat for most of the heat down here in Texas but but you're right, man. The heating strip stays on. They're cooling and heating at the same time.
Yeah. And that's one of those that everything feels fine
Yeah.
until you get the power bill and you're like, what happened? Then they call us and check it out. Your boards are bad. It was sitting,
Yeah.
something like that. So I'm interested to see how many we can get to before it gets to that point.
Awesome.
Because that's one of those things that I've been trying to figure out. I mean, until Smart AC, there is no good option. I mean, we don't know. You don't know. We
Yeah.
did the maintenance 3 months ago. Everything was fine. 4 months later, you got an $800 bill, and we didn't know this thing failed.
Well, I mean, thank you for that. Thank you for the kind words, and thanks for your time more than anything, Derek. It was awesome getting to know you. Thanks for giving me your story. If there's anything we can do, let me know.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you asking me to be on.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course.